But no matter what comes next, I still have to face the ending.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Yay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Cat.
Well then, go ahead and give us this intro. This is Blades in the Dark, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're going to be playing Blades in the Dark.
The trap finally went off, huh?
We have cats. So yeah, welcome to Blades in the Dark, a powered by the Apocalypse game set in the haunted city of Duskfall. I'm Matthew, and I'm going to be running the game today. You guys want to introduce yourself?
I think so. I guess just to go around the table, hey everybody, I'm Griffin. How's it going? I'm co-admin here, and hey, I'm playing today.
Yeah, Beta, Ractus, whatever name I'm going by at any given time of day. Other admin, also playing.
There you go.
Who's next? I can't
Yeah.
see the thing.
Muffin, you're next. You spoke.
That's
Aha, you
me.
broke the curse.
Okay, it's me. Yeah, I'm Muffin, or you might know me as Jamie, which is my real name. I'm a professional voice actor. I have GM'd on this channel once before, a long time ago. And the best place to find me is on Twitter at Muffin Manifesto, which has links to all my other stuff.
Wonderful. Well, it leaves just one last person.
Yes, I am Norman Rafferty from an undisclosed location. I do things with toys and games.
Sell yourself real short there. Rafferty is the best designer in the entire universe. There you go. That's the
Okay,
opinion.
somewhere. Let's go somewhere in between. It's not time to hype stuff yet. But
We can moderate that from there. We have our bounds.
Long-time watchers of the Ractus channel will have seen me before.
All right, back to you.
So today we're going to do a session 0. We're going to decide on our crew and our characters for the upcoming campaign. Just a quick question to each of you. Who here has played Blades in the Dark?
Is it just me?
I think it's just Muffin.
It might just be
That's
you. We did play the space version of it with you, so we're
That's true.
a
Yeah,
little familiar.
I ran Scum and Villainy for Griffin Theta a million years ago. I have played and run enough Blades in the Dark for the rest of you, though. I've played somewhere in the realm of like 3,000 hours of this game, so...
Wonderful. We'll look to you when we mess up everything.
Yeah, of the PBTA games that I've played, this has not yet been one of them.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of interesting in that it's sort of like post PBTA and has sort of spawned its own like PBTA like hack scene as well.
It definitely has a very different flavor from the other ones. I would venture to say this is a different system at this point.
Yeah.
It is as far from Powered Apocalypse as you get it, I would say. It's almost like a second gen of the system.
Right. But
It's
still
like
definitely fun, and I'm still excited.
Yeah, it maintains that sort of like success with complication, not success sort of dynamic, but it then adds ways that you can mitigate the complications, which is fun.
The moves have kind of shifted to a slightly different system is all. It's a bit more streamed for each skill. So diving in, for people who don't know, Blades in the Dark is a sort of Renaissance post-apocalyptic with some steampunk elements set in the haunted city of Duskfall. The players will play a single gang starting on the bottom rung, trying to eke out a life of one sort or another through usually illicit means. So getting into this, I think the first thing we should consider is what crew we want to play.
Well, we got a lot of different opinions. I think Rafferty, you definitely wanted a cult, and I think Muffin, you definitely
I don't see why
didn't.
we would pick anything else. Okay, so
was that right?
let me see if I understand the premise of this. The premise behind Blades in the Dark is that we are living in a city that's not Baslag, where we want to commit crimes for material gain. Is that true?
Well,
Yes.
you live in a city that's designed to keep the poor poor and the rich rich, and if you follow the legal means, you'll basically be ground out and spit out before your 30s. So yes, you're going to commit crimes and try and move up the ladder in some way.
Okay. So that's what I mean. The premise of this game being that we will, commit crime. So we want to be a crime syndicate. So
Right.
what are the reasons that the rest of you want to be criminals?
Well, so
Are
far,
you asking players
Yeah.
or characters?
I'm asking the players.
right.
Yeah.
I guess you're in character since you've already listed previous to this the kind of character types that you're going to pick.
Mhm.
So you must have had a reason why you wanted to be a leech. Because I saw
Right,
that
let's start
come
with
up
that
at
one.
least.
What interests
And we had
you
two
about
whisperers
that?
show up too. So
Mhm.
why did you pick that?
Oh, because I have a goal. I have a goal that requires resources that I can't obtain on my own.
Well, what is the goal? To become rich?
To build myself a body because mine is dying.
Okay, so that's your goal.
Yeah, like I said, I need
Right.
resources that I cannot obtain through ordinary means.
Right. When it comes to my
Okay.
3 choices, I definitely like the lurk because I like doing cool capers where I get to baffle everyone, sneak around, and then take everything. That's fun. I'm a big fan of the Thief games and Dishonored, and I like to keep that up. This is very much a Dishonored game, so I could play a cool thief, and that'll basically fit what I want to do. Whisperer is always there because just being the cool occult guy is always fun. And I think the other one was called Spider, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, spiders.
Yeah,
like the sort of
Spider, because I
mastermind.
just like being the talky guy sometimes and making up the big plan. And it's fine if I make the big plan and everyone else executes it.
Okay,
Uh,
and what about you, Muffin?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't zeroed in on a playbook because I sort of like to get a feel for the gang first. But the kinds of characters I like to play tend to be pretty fast and loose with their lives, and but also very driven by the climb, right? Matthew talked very briefly about being the bottom rung of the criminal ladder and trying to build a gang, a syndicate, whatever you want to call it. I like the characters who are very ambitious, usually.
Okay, so we've got 2 people who are in it for the ambition, and a third person who's in it.
For the fun.
No, I'm talking about Theta's
Players.
character who
Yeah,
is in it, for survival or at least quality of life. What we need to do is we need to keep Theta into the lifestyle that he's accustomed, as in, breathing.
Yes. Do you think that's air you're breathing?
Oh boy. So, I mean, the reason why I first suggested cult is because obviously the appeal of being Discordians was appealed to me. To explain that in gamer terms, Malkavians. The idea of stealing chaos and sowing chaos and discord for the sake of doing so. But that's not the sources that you're quoting that are inspiring you folks. I think we'd be better served by being ambitious criminals. I mean, I'm coming at this where has anyone here read Jack of Shadows? Am I the only Jack of Shadows fan here?
Maybe, yeah.
Never heard of it till today.
I've heard of it before. I just can't remember it now.
Yeah, it's one of the more it's a Zlazi novel that isn't Amber, now Thieves World. This is going way back. The Thieves World anthology. Before there was a Game of Thrones, there was a Thieves World. Now, I'm growing more gray.
Before my time.
Okay, so you've quoted things like Dishonored, and of course, everybody loves Thief: The Dark Project.
Exactly.
Everybody loves Garrett. Those are big inspirations. So that's why I suggested cult. But that would make us more of, the Joker style pranksters than it would. So I'm thinking that if we're really in this for the ambition, then the kind of crew that we're going to want is a crew. I think it would either be Shadows, who are the sneaky bastards.
Should I go over the different types of crews for the audience?
Yeah,
Just
that's
some people
That would be a
Probably
good
a good
idea.
idea.
Let's go ahead and do that and get our brief.
So, for those who have the book at home, there are 6 presented crews here. I'm just going to read out the summaries quick. There's the assassins, which are usually killers for hire, whether it's by accident or trying to send a message for other people. There's bravos that act as mercenaries and thugs, usually executing extortion, combat, sabotage missions, or just plain old smash and grabs. There's the cult, which everyone's talked about, which is basically allocates of some forgotten god. They are trying to acquire artifacts, follow visions or omens, performing sacrifices. There's the hawkers, which are basically vice dealers, so could be drug dealers or getting illicit goods for people or holding big underground social events. There's the shadows, which are thieves and spies. So this could be burglar, espionage, robbery style gang. And then there's the smugglers, who are moving contraband in and out of the city or even just through the city quietly.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking like Shadows or smugglers are more appropriate because you guys want. I mean, hawkers would be if we were career criminals and we were in it for just the money and the power, which none of what you described to me sounded like you were in this more for the challenge and for the upset, except of course for Theta, who is in this for specific material gains. So that's why Shadows or smugglers, I think, would be more appropriate.
I think my
Right.
kind of characters can lean a lot into that, getting the power kind of thing of hawkers. But
Okay.
I think there's room for that within most of the crew types.
I mean, definitely for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely in it for the money and what that lets them achieve within the city region.
Yeah. So,
And,
but
the thing
hawkers are the career criminals. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're the ones that tend to do the least.
Well, they're in for
They
the
do more running a
contraband
business
social
compared
Yeah,
to
exactly.
and money
Yeah.
that's hand over. Whereas smugglers or shadows, we would be in it for the capers. We would be in it to go
Yeah.
someplace, get a material item, and bring it back. Again, that's why I said that would probably appeal more to Theta, who apparently is going to want not just anybody. I mean, we just get anybody. The streets are full of them.
He wants to build his own, I think.
Everybody's got to be picky.
So I guess, Theta, do you have any explicit preference on crew then?
I think
While
I
we're
said.
trying to fit you in.
I mean, I think I said earlier. I think Hawkers was probably the one most fitting among the list, but Shadows was right, number 2. So
Okay.
Well,
That'd
remember,
probably be my top 2 as well.
So even though this will dictate the 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this will dictate some of our starting abilities, how we gain XP with our crew, and 7 basic abilities we're allowed to have. But we're also allowed to poach up to 3 abilities from any other playbook. So this will determine our forte and how we gain XP. And so that's why, because Hawkers here, your goal is to protect your supply lines and execute deals. Whereas Shadows, we would get extra points for actually committing capers, like sabotage or theft. And Smugglers, we would get extra points for actually moving physical contraband from place to place, which I assume also includes, stealing them and brokering the deals. So that's why I was suggesting, once again, Shadows or Smugglers sounds more like big score territory, whereas Hawkers is more about the Enterprise.
Yeah, this is the thing, is that all of the crews can end up, or do end up, generally having tangents in all the others. You're not going to you're not going to get away with being hawkers that don't occasionally need to steal shit or kill somebody.
Mhm.
And in my experience, almost every crew type will end up with a cult of its own somewhere within it. If anyone is at all interested in playing a whisper or any character that ever interacts with ghosts.
Yeah, you can be our crazy old man, Raph.
So finally, yeah, no, I'm still shooting. I would push for shadows or smugglers. Those would be my two choices.
I think we do have the biggest quorum on shadows, don't we?
Yeah,
Sounds like
shadows feels interesting to me because it'll also stop me from most often going in guns blazing, which is like too easy. It's too easy.
If you guys want to go in guns blazing, that'd be more of a Bravo crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
Okay. If we had shadows is a lot like the petty crime network. So they have a lot of powers where our gang would be excellent thieves and being able to steal tiny things. I mean, basically everyone in our organization would be thieves. If we were smugglers, we would have the advantage that we could get a lot of our guys during downtime would be earning money, vehicles, and other resources. They'd be building material stuff. Like we could just tell our gang members, go get, a car or go get, secure a warehouse or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's the advantages. Not to say we can't poach these from different ones, but it's like, do you see us building physical locations and acquiring material items that we would use? Or do you see us building up a crime gang with lots of petty thieves and what a lot of our... Yeah. I mean, which direction do you see us going in?
Stuff versus manpower, basically, here.
Right. Because I think we had okay, so unrelated to this are our playbooks. So what's the spider is a capable mastermind. Who said they wanted to be a spider?
That's one of the ones on my list. I would put it as second.
The leech is basically, I guess, a con artist saboteur.
They're more like the alchemist.
Yeah.
That's the guy you go to brew your moonshine.
What?
I see.
Or make a bomb.
They're the person who makes drugs and poisons and...
They're calling them a leech because they got from doctor to leech, despite the fact that like only one out of your 8 special abilities is actually healing people.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes more sense. So I think we had 2 people who wanted to be a leech. Was leech on your list, Theta?
I think I'm the only one.
I think it's Theta. Theta's claimed leech territory. Not that you can't have 2 of the same.
I just don't think there was any competition.
So it was 2 spider. I also saw Whisper. I think Whisper showed up twice, which is the wizard type.
Right, that was one of my thirds, and I think Theta's third as well, or second.
That was my second.
Okay, so did Muffin submit anything? Or
I haven't really, I'm sort of comfortable playing any playbook because, again, like the way the game lets you take veteran advances, like you were talking about, sort of lets you be very flexible with characters. It's more about, like, for me, the core of the character playbooks is how they earn their experience, whether it's by violence and coercion or by, masterminding behind the scenes or etc. And
so right now we have 2 Ennies who are okay with everything, and so we have the usual tabletop problem of someone's got to pick something.
Well,
do you have anything you're leading towards, Raph?
Direction for the story.
Sorry, what was that?
Once we have a crew picked out, we'll have at least a leaning where the story is going to start, and it might be easier for people to pick what they want to do. So we have one person who's basically set on the leech, one who is considering the Tempest. So you're looking at some of the weird tech magic spilling in regardless of the crew we're picking. So if we wanted to go heavy into the arcane in that, we could go with cult or smugglers, because one of the smugglers' special areas is dealing with getting weird arcane stuff in and out of the city. I don't know if that's everyone's...
I would agree that if we want to be weirdo wizard people, because we've already got one weirdo wizard, and if the rest of you want to be weirdo alchemists and wizards and that kind of stuff, I would think smuggler would be our top choice for that.
Yeah, I'm sort of interested in playing a character who doesn't interact too much with the weirdo stuff
Okay.
to begin
But
with.
smugglers
But
still need a face, though.
you would, yeah, I think that's it. So like, whether Griff wants to play more of a face character is sort of up to you,
If we
man.
ended up doing smugglers, Spider's the obvious choice because then it's like,
Mhm.
cool, so I'm doing the organizing and you guys are doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I think knowing what I do with the people here, I would think that you guys would love to be, hey, let's go steal some cursed artifacts and pile them up in the room with the other cursed artifacts. I can't think of any reason this would fight us.
What do you mean several of the artifacts are made out of fissile uranium? What do you mean there's a critical reaction?
All right, so we all
You know,
comfortable at this point.
Every one of those tombs has a curse written on it. It's not real.
So I think we're going to go
Yeah.
to smugglers to start. If people have a strong opinion, otherwise, partway through, we can change that. This is session 0, so we're just getting things rolling.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm happy in the Smugglers or Shadows realm. I think if Griff is gonna lean into the mastermind thing, I might lean into the bodyguard kind of thing and be the one whose job it is to keep you safe.
Right,
Oh,
and that would
good.
be a pretty good
Alright.
pairing right there, outright.
Mm.
So now we got a base crew. Let's figure out our personal playbooks. Everyone should have a character sheet on here that says "for you." That should have popped up near the beginning
Oh.
in the roll
Mm,
20.
It
Yeah,
did.
I
It's
got
right there.
mine.
hasn't refreshed. I'm just gonna refresh my roll.
Oh, hey. Well, I have a section called for you.
I'll click on it, open it up. Your character sheet should be in there.
There's nothing in there. I'm clicking as hard as I can.
You under the character sheet tab.
Player characters, the crew, and for you.
Yeah,
Yep, that's
a
it.
that's a sheet, not a section.
Oh, it's blank. Okay, yes, I have a big
Yeah.
blank thing.
All right, you'll see a spot that says playbook. You can click in there and type in the playbook. When you hit enter, it'll populate the sheet. Start.
Mine is dimmed out. Well,
Yes.
okay,
It
there we
should
go.
be,
Click on
and when you
play.
click on it, it lets you edit it. So
There we go. Sorry, I have a tendency to go too fast for this program. Okay.
That's fair.
All right.
All right.
So we are
So
smugglers.
does everyone have access? Is there anyone who doesn't have access to this sheet before we move forward?
I have it. I have the crew, and I have a sheet.
All right. So the crew sheet is a shared sheet between all of you. So if someone changes it, everyone sees it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the playbooks. I think most of you already decided, or at least have a general leaning of where you're going, right?
yeah, I'm
A general
I'm
idea, yes.
thinking
Yeah,
between
so
Cutter and Hound at the moment.
And I guess,
Fair.
Rafferty, what are you most excited to try to do then?
Oh,
Given like
Cutter
the
was
information you have.
definitely to me.
Ooh, Cutter.
Okay.
What does
Because,
Cutter do?
I'm a big fan of characters like Garrett and Jack.
Mhm.
But there's also the ability to lurk, which is
Well,
also
while you guys are thinking about this, for the audience, I'm just going to read out the short summary of these playbooks for them.
Good idea.
Okay, go ahead.
So for people following at home, on page 52 of the main book, you'll find a quick summary. The playbooks are as follows. There's the Cutter. Cutters are good at winning fights with violence and with intimidation. You play a Cutter if you want to get in your way. The Hound. Hounds are good at tracking things down and also long-distance combat. Play a Hound if you want to choose your battles. There's the Leech. Leeches are good with alchemy, wrecking stuff with sabotage. Play a Leech if you want to be creative with weird tools. There's the Lurk. Lurks are good at sneaking around and breaking into places. Play a Lurk if you want to slink into the shadows. The Slide. Slides are good in social situations and subterfuge. Play a Slide if you want to manipulate and deceive people. Spider. Spiders are good at mastermind maneuvers. Play a Spider if you want to assist your teammates and deal with other factions. Whisper. Whispers are good at magical stuff and dealing with ghosts. play Whisper if you want to meddle with arcane powers. So now that the audience knows what 7 playbooks are out there, continue your conversation.
So you're interested in Cutter and Lurk. Good options. On Smuggler, Theta, you're still interested in Leech first, I suppose?
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess with Raph as the Cutter, what are you going to do then, Muffin?
Well, I might pick Hound or Lurk instead. I'm those 3 appeal to me. So whatever Muffin wants to do, I can do
Yeah,
something
I'm
different.
sort of between like Cutter and Hound because I think like I'm interested in that sort of bodyguard thing. So having one of the violent playbooks.
Cutter's the
probably
bodyguard.
I mean, Cutter literally has the move bodyguard, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and declare myself as a spider, because I think whichever way you two end up choosing, I'm going to end up with the bodyguard, and that will be the easiest in for forming the gang here.
Yeah. All right. I'll go Cutter, and I'll even start with the bodyguard special ability.
All right, then type Cutter into Playbook and hit Enter, and it'll auto-populate the sheet of your beginning stuff. So that just leaves Norman to decide on his playbook.
I guess I'm gonna pick the Lurk because I do like the way they infiltrate, and you can always poach abilities from others.
Absolutely.
So I will take the Lurk for this.
All right.
So, are you giving me a character sheet or something, or?
Oh, do you have this pop up just where it says Playbook? Type Lurk, hit Enter, and it'll populate the starts of your character sheet.
I'm sorry. Could you say that again? I must have missed a step.
Okay. I see you've already changed the name of the character sheet you had, the Perisso. If you click where Playbook is and type in Lurk and hit Enter, it'll auto-populate.
Playbook. When I edit Perisso, there's an avatar, a name, bio, and info.
No. On the sheet itself, character sheet, you'll see a spot that calls Playbook.
Sheet. Which you keep saying character sheet? What's a character sheet object? What object are you talking about?
Okay,
So
when you click it on the right side, it pops up with a page, and that page has 3 tabs. One of them is character sheet.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the macros go.
Okay. I don't.
So I've shared my screen. If you take a quick look
at what I got here, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So I've shared my screen. If you take a quick look at Discord, you'll see I'm looking at your character sheet now. So it's this tab here. And then you click on Playbook here and type in Lurk.
You have to save changes on that page to go back to the primary page. So once you hit save changes, it'll go back and there'll be the 3 tabs at the top.
The 3 tabs.
It's just a bio and info, character sheet, attributes, and abilities.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before on other sheets, but I'm not seeing it on this one.
Like I said, click Save Changes.
Okay.
You're currently in the process of editing the bio.
I've clicked Save Changes.
All right. Now, it should show you the things you wrote out on that page, and up at the top, just below for you, should be 3 tabs.
Okay, I apologize to everybody at home. I don't see what you're talking about. You say 3 tabs. Where?
So you're not
on the
seeing
top
this
of the window.
I've shared a screenshot.
Yeah, that's not the screenshot we need though. What happened after you click Save Changes?
Did you hit Save
After I
Changes?
click Save Changes, it turns into this.
Oh, that
Oh,
broke
you-
a little bit.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what
it did.
happened.
It sure did.
You just have
If
to
you grab
expand
the-
it a little bit. You can drag
Yeah.
the corner.
Yeah, if you grab the corner where the little arrows are on the bottom
If
right.
I click on the corner, it turns into something larger, and that does have the word character sheet on it. So
There we go.
okay. And every time I move it, it disappears.
Right. You can also close it and reopen it, and that kind of fixes it occasionally.
Okay. Yeah, it's not letting me manipulate. So sorry. And that's blank. Okay. Excuse me a minute here.
It's all good. Technical difficulties happen.
All right. Character sheet. Excellent.
All right. So where it says playbook, you can type in lurk there, hit enter, and it'll auto-generate the first part.
Okay.
All right. So is that done? No. You're clicking on mode. So below where it says character mode, you'll see playbook. Click there, type lurk.
Yes, I did that.
Hooray! Mission accomplished then.
There we go.
If I'm understanding your directions.
Well, it's set up now.
Yep, right there. Oh, the spot directly adjacent to that, to the left.
Okay. Excellent.
Yay, we've done it. All right. Well, we've chosen playbooks.
Yes. All right, now Dustfall itself pulls people from all over the region of this world. The next step is to choose where your character came from. You're going to see a pop-up here that has come up, the Shattered Isles.
Mm-hmm.
Each of these regions have people who come from them. Akaros is the continent that Dustfall is on, and it is the continent of the capital. A lot of people come from that area. Like, the majority of the city is made up of those people. Below that is Cerveros, which is kind of a wild deathland. There are ghost hunting horsemen. They tend to have darker skin and darker hair. The other heritages are the Urbaean, which are considered the most foreign or furthest away land. They have an Egyptian vibe to them. There's the Dagger Isles, which is a lot of seafaring people have come from. A lot of ships go in and out of there. We have... The book goes actually opposite of this handout here. All right. There's the Scovins, which were the last country, as it were, to be brought into the Empire. There was a 36-year war that ended only a few years ago when the king and queen were assassinated. And the last are the Tyrosians, which are people who have marks of demons on them. So there's something unusual on each one that marks them as from there. Does anyone have any preference where they want to be from?
Yeah. Actually, did any of you, I'm going to say this up front, did any of you want to be Tycheros? Because I wanted to be that.
Oh, I already picked it.
Okay.
You can all be...
No, I wanted to say, I had a thing I wanted to say because it doesn't have a lot written about it, so I was hoping to do a little bit of world building on the subject.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. I just picked Tycheros because I was going to pick parts unknown, and for some reason that's not an option in a crime game.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that Tycheros could be large enough that we could be from different parts and not have each other's thing.
It really is the parts unknown part.
Yeah, and part of the reason there aren't parts unknown is because if you exist outside of a lightning barrier in this world, you probably get eaten by ghosts.
So, the thing I was thinking of was Tycheros being an island kingdom of its own, right? Centered around a volcano. I was talking to Griff about this earlier, these thoughts that I was having. It would be a technologically advanced kingdom. That's why I come here with this knowledge about how to build hulls and whatnot. And it had a disaster befall it, a pyroclastic cloud which killed the majority of the island, and those that remained are said to have been touched by the demon, because basically lots of their bodies are burned and they have all these after effects from the cloud that crossed over them. So we're a nation that's dying.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Looking at them now, this also fits Iruvia, it seems, because they actually do explicitly have volcanoes. But yeah, working with that from the start seems cool. I liked it when I heard it earlier, too. I've got a pretty simple plan. I think I want to choose Skavlan here because they were the last holdout against Imperial control, and they're not any longer. So being a expat noble definitely seems to fit. Why do I want to get money? Because I'm used to having money, and I want to get it again. There you go. And now I'm smuggling stuff. Seems easy.
I'm gonna play the local Akarosi. I'm gonna be born and bred Duskfall.
All right.
Excellent. In that case, yeah, I think we all have a background then, don't we?
The other person playing the Tyrosian, are you okay with that sort of origin for your people, or would you want that to be one part of that country?
Go to town, make up whatever background, because I'm specifically playing. I became a criminal because I don't like any of your stupid nation states. You're all idiots. You're all dumber than me. Smart. Everyone else is an idiot except for me.
Hey there, fellow friend. You want to come destroy a nation state?
Whatever. I got nothing else to do today.
Sounds like fun then.
Just so
I
you know,
as a criminal, I'm my own boss.
all these nations are brought under the imperial rule, so there are no individual nations anymore. These are just places now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Just to give a little bit of the setting. All right, so everyone has heritage. So what did you do before you were a criminal? That's what your background is. If you're an academic, were you a student of some kind of study, or were you a professor of some kind? If you were a laborer, what did you do? If you've always been in the underworld, what have you done up to this point?
I've already gone out and stated what I was planning to do. Noble!
Yeah.
All right. So you're from a noble line, or are you a noble child who was thrown out? Can you give me a little more than just that?
Well, Skavlan's no longer an independent territory. I'm pretty sure they don't recognize my heritage anymore or monarchical power, you know? I think I'm a little bit upset about that.
So, noble of Skavlan. That's interesting, actually. All right. All right. So,
I'm pretty done and done.
The last thing is to figure out your vice. There's a handful of options under vice. So we can go with maybe your vice is faith, you believe in something. Maybe it's gambling. Maybe it's luxury of some kind, you like to live well. Obligation, maybe you have an obligation to your family or something. And it looks like everyone has picked now. So I'm going to... there it is.
Yes, I'm not revealing my history to any of you, but I obviously speak with an educated accent, and I am knowledgeable in lots of antiquities and things of the previous eras. So maybe I'm a bored apprentice student who decided, hey, instead of just cataloging all this stuff, we could sell this. Rich weirdos pay a lot of money for old stupid stuff.
But where are we going to find a weirdo like that? I say as I turn my head to what I assume is Theta.
You go to the nice houses. Not here. These are the crappy houses. Look at these people. They don't have any money.
All right. So we seem to be making good progress. So if you look over to the right side of your character, now that we have heritage, background, and vice figured out, you're going to notice 12...
I didn't think we went through me and Theta's background and stuff.
Oh, I figured we'd finish the characters and everyone would go...
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dug up one day.
It's all fine.
Right. So we're going to pan over to the right side of the character sheet. You're going to see insight, prowess, and resolve, and 4 skills under each of them. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to get 4 more dots to add into what's already there. None of these can start above 2. While the
Okay.
4 of you are figuring out where you want to put these 4 dots, I'm going to go over what each skill does.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that.
Hunt is used for tracking, following, or long-distance combat. Study is for research, reading, academic stuff usually. Survey is for looking around and spotting things that are out of place or taking a note of what's there. Tinker is both for building or wrecking mechanical or fiddly things. So even like picking locks would come to wreck would come under Tinker, or trying to craft something would probably fall under Tinker. Finesse is being incredibly dexterous, so picking someone's pocket maybe could fall under Finesse. Doing something very gently. Prowl is stealth, hiding, also following someone without being seen. Skirmish is getting into a fight. Wreck is destroying something, so demolitions could fall under wreck. Smashing a log off with a sledgehammer. Things that are breaking stuff, being loud. Attune is dealing with mystic stuff, dealing with ghosts. Anything that would be considered magic or occult may fall under Attune. Command is giving instructions or intimidating others. Consort is getting along with people, coming to mutual agreements. Sway is convincing people of things or lying or trying to get people to do things in a manipulative manner. Any questions on those 12?
I think they all make sense to me, and this is essentially what was also in Scum and Villainy, so they're a little familiar. Some of them are different, of course, but
If you these character sheets are actually incredibly well coded. If you hover over any of the abilities, it will give you those sort of little breakdowns as well.
Absolutely.
Like if you hover over skirmish, it says
Very
skirmish in
nice.
close combat, etc.
Also, when we go to roll, you can click on them and it does most of the calculating for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at the different suggested options, and I definitely like the way Foresight looks. So I'm going to follow this little suggested build of the Conductor. So I'm going to get Command, Survey, and this ability Foresight, where I can assist you guys without paying any stress.
So what are the rhomboids next to Insight, Prowess, and Resolve for?
Experience.
The little ticks there are XP. Whenever you make a desperate action with one of these skills, you'll tick that up.
All right,
Yeah.
that's where that comes. That's nice. So you track that. Okay, good.
Yeah, so you gain experience in the individual tracks, and when you reach 6, you can gain a dot within any of the skills that fall under that track. There's also playbook experience, which goes like down the bottom, which you can only earn at the end of sessions, and that's how you get new special abilities.
Yep. So it looks like everyone's picked out their different skill points. So then those who haven't done it go down to special abilities and pick one out. It seems everyone's already there.
Already grabbed one.
The next part we're going to go over to is under the skill list. You're going to see friends. Each of you are going to have a different list of friends, as it were. You tick one of those up, meaning they like you, and you tick one down as they're a rival or an enemy of yours.
All right. Well, I definitely feel... Man, it would be odd to say, my enemy is this random servant.
We'll make
Well, I
them
mean, that
interesting,
random
don't worry.
servant might also be a cultist to an old forgotten god, or they might also be...
Oh yeah, but it's a funny place to start for me. It's not inherently obvious where it goes.
Where's the enemies list?
It is the same as the friends and enemies
friends
list on underneath skills.
Well,
Yeah,
if
so
we
under-
wanted to make... Go ahead.
No, I was just reiterating what Griff
Up
said.
is positive relationship, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that it's in red is what confuses me.
Yeah.
I would think the black name would be my friend and the red name would be my enemy, but okay.
Yeah, but everything red on your sheet is your assets right now.
Okay, I only see friends.
They are only friends, but one of them's going to be
They are
your
the
like
same.
rival.
That's what I was talking about. Up arrow on the left-hand side of it.
Yeah.
Up arrow
So
means
all
friend.
5 are your friends. One of them is actually like a good friend, and one of them is
All 5 are people you may know.
yeah.
The up arrow is someone who likes you. The down arrow is someone who does not.
Okay.
We will flesh out the actual relationship
Mhm.
between them in game.
All of my stuff shows up twice.
I mean, how about just a picture?
I mean, like I've got
You're good with dropping
Petra,
pictures.
and then Petra, city clerk.
Right. It might have
Weird.
double populated something because of
Yeah, everything looks double populated.
Maybe close
Alright.
the sheet and reopen it.
you
Because I'm
can
not seeing it when I look at your sheet.
There's a lock icon on the bottom right-hand side of that. You can just click the lock icon, and little red bots will appear on the right-hand side of each one, and you can delete the ones that are doubles.
Okay.
Roll20 is constantly familiar in that way. Sheets are eminently editable.
So it looks like everyone has picked out their friends and enemies. So that basically covers your individual character sheet. So we're going to go back over to our crew, smugglers here. And the first thing we're going to do is name the crew.
Okay. Hey, Theta, what's your character's name?
Furior Ardente.
Okay, so we're Al Dente's gang. To the teeth.
We're al dente.
Ardente. Ardente.
Too late. It's Al Dente.
I don't mind being called the teeth. I don't know why. It sounds kind of good.
Al Dente's teeth.
If you guys want, I'm up for that.
All right, let's
I think-
do it.
We named the gang after Theta and blame everything on Theta.
I'm perfectly okay with blaming Theta. Yes.
I mean, if your character is more like a background kind of guy, we could throw Griffin under the bus. I mean, he wanted to be the mastermind.
Yeah, but he's the mastermind. That's why we're throwing Theta.
I'm
I
the
see.
mastermind, not the scapegoat.
Right, that's
I-
why you named the gang after someone else.
I do appreciate the thought that you named the gang after me, and you heard that my name was Al Dente, so you're like, the teeth or whatever, and it's like, my name means fiery. It's like fire. And you're like, no, it's the teeth. It's like, oh, you sons of bitches.
I thought you were just well done pasta, honestly.
Ardente would be brave. That's why you got fiery from that would mean brave. No, and also, aren't you legally dead?
I'm a stranger. I have no legal, I guess, representation of the city anyway.
Well, where you come from, you're dead then, right?
No?
I mean, where's your inheritance?
What?
Where's your inheritance?
I don't have any inheritance.
Do you have any heritage whatsoever? What's your family line? What sort of obligations and blood?
They all
I'm-
died in the
I'm not the
fiery
noble
nest.
here.
Oh, well, so what happened that you
That's
died?
Griff.
I mean, what happened to you that you need a new body?
I'm a survivor of the thing that which killed most of my people. I'm
Terrible
slowly.
burn
I was.
victim.
Yes, I was almost cooked alive, and my body
Okay.
is failing me.
So who are your people?
The Taikarosi.
So you were part of a tribe? Were you?
No, I was part
a-
of a somewhat advanced civilization who was destroyed by natural disaster. Most
Okay,
of our
so-
people
so-
were killed in minutes.
So before this, you owned property, right?
I was a professor at an academy. Yes.
Okay, so you had title and all that. So you're not actually dead. You're just disfigured.
I like to think of myself. I was putting this just down in books a minute ago. I am Elvirad. The woman that plays Elvira is horribly disfigured, just everywhere that you can't see. That's what she says. If you saw me out of this outfit, I am burned most of my body. She was horribly burned as a child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the bits that you see are the bits of her that they thought, we can use this.
Oh, well, that's not as exciting. I thought you were, like, dead.
No, I am horribly disfigured for most of my body. That's why they say that we're devil-touched, because we all look horribly disfigured. I just happen to have...
like,
my face is still good, though, so that's why I...
He's also a foreigner in this city, so any of like those accreditations he had back there probably mean shit in an Imperial.
Right.
Theta, would you like to be dead?
I will be eventually.
Oh, okay. Let me know if you need that hurried along.
It will be.
All right, guys. So we're going to move on to building the crew itself.
I knew I should have picked obligation, because I should say no one's allowed to kill Artente but me.
And that can be a goal anyway.
That'll be great.
There we go. No one's allowed to kill Artente but me.
All right, so crew.
So we have the Teeth is the name. You guys are a smuggling crew. So the first thing you're going to have to tell me is, what word would most gangs describe? What's your reputation? Some of the suggested ones are ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, or strange. When people whisper about
professional, those would be the two I'd go for.
Yeah, ambitious would definitely be my first choice out of all this. I just don't know how serious everyone else takes their character yet to say if professional fits.
I mean, strange also implies that we're looking for weird artifacts, which I am, and probably the professor is.
Don't forget Marianne.
Right, so 50% of our crew is very, very odd. So
Strange
it would
work.
make sense that if we're kind of oriented in that direction.
All right.
We're trafficking in these weird things, so strange definitely seems to fit.
All right. And then if you look closely at the Roll20, you'll see we have a map of Dustfall outlining the different districts. So for the crew, we're going to have to decide where you're starting. Where's your lair for this crew? Which district are you focused on? Is it in Coal Ridge? Go ahead.
Sorry, just because I'm not sure if we want to start with strange as a reputation, because yes, while we're trafficking in strange things, I suppose Theta's got some weird. Both Raph and Theta have some like weird shit going on. It's more just like the way that we get things done isn't necessarily strange by the sound of it.
Well, I'm assuming that the reputation means that if people are looking for like people who know about the weird or specialize in the weird, like if you just want to like,
in terms of how reputation works mechanically in the game, it's literally like, how do we go about doing things? Like if we show ourselves being strange in a score, that's how that actually works. Whereas if we showed ourselves being professional,
I definitely would suggest that you eliminate the middleman and we go straight for strange, because we don't start with strange, we're going to end with strange. Have you met these people before?
Yeah, that's fair.
Look at them.
I'll play against type. It'll be fine.
Just look how weird I am.
I mean, I could also go with professional, but
no, I don't mind strange. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that means you have to be strange, not just like deal with strange stuff.
Well, on the map here, district number 4. What is this apparatus around district number 4? This looks like canals or gates or something.
District 4 is the night market. It's also the main train station that connects it to the rest of the empire.
Oh, those are trains.
That's great.
Like an electric train that goes to the other cities.
Yeah, trains are charged with the trains are charged with electrical force that destroys ghosts as it passes.
That's handy.
I like setting up the trains.
The whole city, you see those little like pylons around the city, that's the lightning barrier that keeps the city safe from ghosts.
Yeah, I think we should be in the switching yard. I vote for the night market switching yard.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, that's a quorum then.
We can get electric hobos.
Yeah.
All right. So you've set up in
You can always tell that because their beards are all frizzy.
So we have your layer here.
All right.
You go to shake their hands. Ow!
So there is no part of Duskwall that isn't claimed by something. So
Mhm.
to set up your layer, you're probably going to have to deal with the Railjacks in one way or another. So the crew starts with 2 coin. There's going to be a couple options to spend these. This is the first one. Did you take your layer by force? Did you force someone out? Did you pay them off a little bit, costing a coin? Or did you pay them off a lot and they like you, which is going to cost 2 coin?
We only start with 2,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Where's the option that we murdered someone and took the place fraudulently?
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
It's a
So-
version of take by force.
But before we get into the whole
Okay.
murder thing, something I'd like to mention about the lore of Dustfall. Every person who dies in this world leaves a ghost. Every single one. Ghosts are hungry for the living. To handle this, a group called the Spirit Wardens has been founded. So if someone dies, these enchanted bells across the city begin to ring. A specialized crow will find this, and the Spirit Wardens will come for the body. There is no murder that's quiet in Dustfall.
So it technically draws more attention. One way or another, someone may be able to speak about what happened.
So poisoning. Got it.
That's a way to kill someone.
Yeah, or kill
I'll
them
share a
and
nice drink
very
with these
quickly.
jacks, and, you know.
If you kill someone, you very quickly want to throw them in a canal.
You want to get away from the site, let's put it that way. Death.
But you don't
death-
want to be where, or even better, not be there when they die.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the benefit, of course, of killing them violently is that we get to keep the money.
Okay, my suggestion, this is what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest that we blow both coins because we only get 2. I'm suggesting we spend 2 coins, get the place legit, get +1 status, and be done. That's my suggestion.
Yes,
Mhm.
we do get like another opportunity to spend coin for the same thing for plus statuses with people.
But having a safe place and a safe base is really valuable too.
I tend to agree. I'm happy to.
In the train yard, which makes it easier for us to smuggle stuff in and out. That's what I would want to do. That's my vote.
Right.
Yeah, like not having forced some railjacks out of their warehouse or whatever, and instead having like legitimately acquired.
The last vestiges of my wealth spent on this warehouse. This is my palace now.
It does mean that we have less crew and less contacts, but I'm thinking we're a bunch of weirdos. I'm thinking we'd rather have a safe base operations. That's my vote.
Yeah, no, I'm down.
So, were you spending 1 coin or both?
Both of them.
I mean, you're down with this, Professor, right?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we want the people who gave us our base to be happy that we're there.
So the Railjacks are quite happy you're there.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for it to be the Railjacks for sure.
Yeah, we got a nice little ally at our back. This is good.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you've established your hunting grounds. The next, we're going to choose your special ability. Looking down, you'll see a number of special abilities hooked up with smugglers from like part of the family, all hands. The only one not as an option right now is veteran because you're just starting out. So between the 4 of you, you're going to have to decide one of these special abilities.
Okay, so do you want to or not?
What's
Sorry,
that?
I didn't hit you. Cut out there.
Do you want to buy the Dracula or not? Because right there, create one of your vehicles as a cohort. We could start with the Dracula.
We could just have
Oh,
a
boy.
sick vehicle.
Right now, we're looking at special abilities, not the upgrades.
Yeah, so
No, that's the first up. That's the first special ability.
The
Special
starting
ability.
ability for the smugglers is
You're right.
create a vehicle as a cohort.
Start with one of the vehicles as a cohort. We could have the super.
I'm
I
down
hope
for
someone
it.
knows how to drive because it ain't me.
Well, and we're already in the train switching yard, so
I think finesse is the ability for handling vehicles, etc.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. It'll handle itself. It's the Dracula.
Leverage seems
I
pretty
have-
good too.
That's my vote.
I
What's
don't
your
know. My
thoughts, Mark?
feeling is that if we're starting near the rail yard already, then our smuggling is less like needing to, run barricades and stuff in terms of having.
Well,
some
we'd have to
greased
go
lightning
to where the thing is and get it to the train yard so we can get it out of. But one of two things: either go to where it is and get it to the train yards to get it out of the country or city, or pick it up when it shows up in the train yard and take it to where it needs to go. Which could be our specialty operations. I mean, that's what we do. We're a criminal gang who operates an illicit, part of the train yard. And that way, when stuff comes in, instead of going through customs, we write on a piece of form, yeah, this totally went through customs. It's completely legit. Signed, real blue coat. Stamp.
What were you suggesting, Griff?
That's my suggestion.
Aside from the vehicle, I think leverage is also a pretty good one because we get additional reputation with the other factions, which means we can have more allies in the city and less fighting and more customers.
Like, it'll definitely build up your rep a lot faster.
Right, and we're already delivering contraband, so it also fits. So we just deliver even more.
I mean, I'm doubling down with like part of the family.
All right. So
What
that's
about you,
2 for the card, Muffin.
Yeah, I'm leaning away from the car, but if that's the direction you'll want to go, I'm into it.
Oh, choose anything you want.
Yeah, I think leverage is cool because it lets us start generating like better relationships and reputation for our crew. I also just like the simple ones like Renegade where we get to start with an extra dot, but it's kind of boring. So
yeah.
Well, if you're voting for those two, which is leverage and renegades, and not for the vehicle, I'll switch my vote to renegades. And maybe
I was going to switch my vote.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Renegades is my number 2.
So let's just do renegades then, since you guys.
feels like everyone has it as their second option.
We
so
can
maybe-
definitely pick it up later.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
definitely
wanted to-
down for us to get a real cool car. It just doesn't.
Well, that'll be on the long-term list. Hey, I was down to dig through the ditches and burn through the witches, but you guys picked renegades.
Come on, we just want to slam in the back of our Dragula.
Just so you know, even without the special ability, this crew starts with a vehicle.
Yeah, we do have a vehicle. It's just not like
It just is a higher
a
quality
cohort
vehicle.
unto itself.
We'll start with this POS.
So am I
in
hearing
honor of
renegade?
our runners, we need you guys to go pick up this thing in this car that has no license plate or left front tire.
It's okay. We'll just start with the Pinto. Sure, it's old and catches fire, but it's fine. We'll get there.
It's actually a legit question whether we want like a carriage or a boat, though, because I mean the whole city is like has canals through it, right? Or even leading
they
right up.
And
to
we
the
can
train
end
line.
up with both too.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
But I guess we're going with renegades. So somebody check renegades box.
All right,
Sounds
so
good.
each of you, right now, while we have everyone together, add 1 to either your finesse, prowl, or skirmish. It is no longer.
And we're allowed
limited
to take these up to 3
with this
like,
dot.
with this one,
Mhm.
right? We couldn't go above 2 with the previous ones.
Where's my sheet?
Oh, do we just want to go all in on the fighting?
I think my choice is definitely between finesse or prowl. I'm just not going to fight people.
Oh, I'm going prowl. I'm not your fighter.
Prowl's pretty good.
All right, let's go all the way in.
I'll go ahead
I'll
and
go
pick finesse. I think I'd
Okay.
like to do sleight of hand.
You can also drive our boats and stuff.
Yeah, we actually have someone who can drive. Does anyone else have finesse?
I have finesse.
Okay,
Okay.
there you go. So we do actually have a driver.
Yeah, that's why I want the Dracula.
I can fix the
That makes
vehicle. I can't drive the vehicle.
So, mentioning the vehicle, we're going to move over to upgrades. Are you guys starting with a boat or a carriage?
I like the boat idea. That was a good idea.
I like the boat as well.
And then it leaves room for when we get the real sweet carriage for it to be the real sweet carriage.
Fair.
Or like a motorboat.
Anything could be in the box.
What did you want to call your boat?
What do you mean?
The box?
Face?
We're criminals. We're not supposed to get.
What are we? The teeth?
Yes.
I think we should call it the legitimate business.
The legitimate.
Oh, I like that. I like that. We have the SS legitimate business.
Well, but I mean, how big is the boat?
Presumably not enormous, but enough for us to like haul some cargo on.
It's enough to get some
Okay, so
cargo
actual
on,
cargo
or
boat.
move the entire crew if need be. We're gonna go
but it
over.
needs to be able to get through like canals and stuff. It's not a
Yeah, it's not a
hauler.
Okay, so it's like
barge
a-
by any means.
Yeah, it's not a. Well, it's obviously not a barge since barge is an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a couple edges it could have. It could be nimble, meaning it's easy to maneuver and get around things. It could be simple, which means it's easy to fix up. Or it could be sturdy, so even after it's broken, you can still force a little more work out of it.
Oh, sturdy, because we're gonna ram it into crap. I'm looking at you guys. We're gonna ram it into things.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
And then when it gets broken, we'll blame the professor for not fixing.
Now it also comes with a flaw. So it could be costly. It needs a lot of maintenance to keep going. It could be distinct, so people will recognize it. Or it could be finicky, meaning only one person in the crew really understands how to use it.
Well, if we're ramming a bunch, then we need some sort of distinctive front, whatever you call them, those decorative things that they put on the front of boats. And
Look, I know you guys. I know you guys all didn't like the gold trim, but I assure you it is necessary.
I guess
So-
we have a distinctive, sturdy boat.
Oh, we need that giant golden thing coming off the prow that allows us to ram.
Yeah. What is it? What's the image that it's gilt in the
A squid.
A giant pair of teeth.
Giant golden squid, teeth first.
fangs?
A giant below the water ramrod that looks like a bunch of teeth.
Yeah, it's a smile on the top of the water. It's a pair of fangs coming up from the bottom of the water so that it punctures the bottom of boats.
Nice.
Here's this. I'm gonna say our boat is a converted icebreaker, and that's what everyone says when they see it. They say, "What do you mean? It's easy to maintain. It's sturdy. It holds up." Yes, but there's no ice here,
I don't think it goes below 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
which is what makes it distinctive. Because it's like, why do you have an icebreaker?
It's a good icebreaker.
It's a good icebreaker.
All right, so that is one of the upgrades you started with,
Wonderful.
is this vehicle, as well as you have a area for training prowess, which we'll cover when we get to downtime.
Mhm.
Now, your crew's also going to have 2 more upgrades from the list. You'll see layer, training, quality, and cohorts are options you can buy for your upgrades. Now, one of these upgrades was given to you by a friendly contact of one of the other factions. You're going to get +1 stats for them. One of them, you managed to get from an unfriendly contact, maybe not legitimately.
Yeah, cool. Well, I think the first question is, do we want to start with a cohort? Do we want to have like a gang or an individual expert who works for us as well?
Mm-hmm.
Whether
Do you
they're
like gangs?
it could be like our hookup within.
We have
The boathouse also seems like a very good idea.
I mean, Griffin,
does
you're a
seem like-
mastermind. Do you have any special powers that work on gangs?
Yes, I have the command skill, wherein I can tell people what to do, and they'll do it.
That's making me lean towards we should probably get a gang.
Yeah, lead in
Yeah,
action
I
with
have
one
a
of your
point
cruise
in-
gangs.
So to throw this out there, because I would feel I would not be doing my duty if I did not. Is there any chance I could get like a workshop from you guys, or?
I mean, workshop sounds pretty good to me.
All right, so I guess we're very much leaning towards cohort and workshop then, right?
Yeah, I know that there's like a thing on that sheet that you shared for boathouse, and carriage house, but they aren't actually on the sheets.
Oh, I will generate them if need be. Don't worry.
Okay.
I think the gamer.
Yeah, it's just
and
not like something. I'm just wondering if that's from an old edition or something, because I don't
What's that?
think that the boathouse and carriage house. Because I don't.
But they're
No, they are on that 8.1. Interesting.
All right. So what
Okay.
I was. Go ahead.
I'm
Well, I
wondering
wanna
whether
be
that
the
is the vehicle.
if we get the training upgrade that doubles our XP during downtime.
Now, what the training is if you have that training in that aspect, you could double it. So right now, your group already has a training field in prowess.
Oh, okay.
You
So
can get another training field in one of the other two if you wanted.
Okay. Well, then no. I guess we definitely need to have workshop because we have two nerds in the party. With the professor and we have me.
Right. So workshop makes a lot of sense, and then having a crew or cohort definitely makes a lot of sense. Then.
But we
Right,
could change the boat distinctive to finicky and have the cohort be the boat pilot.
Well, technically, right now you're the boat pilot. Congratulations.
Well, that's why I was suggesting that it could just be that we have to keep
We
this
have-
guy on the boat because he's the only one who can use it.
Okay, let's
But
change
if
one at a time.
we can stick with that, who would we get as a cohort then?
We could have like because at tier 0 where we're starting, a gang is 2-3 people max. So it could just be like the people who help us with all the loading and unloading, and they're sort of our.
Well, there's different types of gangs,
Mm.
but we will get into that tomorrow. First, we're going to start with the
Oh,
workshop.
Either be a gang or a single expert. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that.
I just wanted to clarify we do have a boathouse. So the first box that says vehicle is the equivalent of a boathouse.
Okay,
just for-
wonderful. We already got a boathouse. We don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, and it comes along with the boat. So like looking at all the other sheets other than smugglers, they have carriage or boat, and then for some reason smugglers just has vehicle, presumably because you could go for something a little bit more outlandish than a boat or carriage.
Right.
Well,
Or
We'll get
Airship.
our ghost-powered flying machine later. Yeah.
But the point is we have the boat, and then we have at least a small shack to store boating supplies.
Yeah, you have a boathouse to maintain it. That's what that red dot is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
for your workshop, did you take it from another faction, or did another faction give it to you kindly?
I'd say this is probably the one we should be gifted, right?
And then
Yeah, and one of the upgrades has to make an enemy. Oh, we should definitely have stolen our workshop from someone else. We're jerks. Even if we didn't steal the workshop from someone else, there would be someone who wants our workshop because our workshop is very nice.
So there's a large list of factions here,
Yeah.
an immense number, and one of them has to be people who don't like us.
Oh, that's not even all of them. If you want to see all the factions, there's the handout for that.
Oh, that handout is actually
Okay.
blank.
Oh,
Shouldn't we just
Sorry.
pick the blue coats and be done with it?
Yeah, we could have stolen it from the authorities.
Well, they could also just hate our workshop in general because, you guys really shouldn't have that stuff, period, much less in the city.
the literal workshop itself is within our lair, right? So it's more like
Yeah.
all the supplies and shit in the workshop that we stole from someone or
Mhm.
etc.
Well, there could also be someone who's jealous of us. Like any
Yeah,
of these
someone looking
weirdo
to take
cults
it.
might decide they want our workshop.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who was it who came from Tyrosian who was a expert in Spark Tech?
That's
Where's the
Sata's
page?
character, right?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
That was
Nate is the technician guy.
I'm the leech,
From
former
Tychus,
professor of
Maybe
Tech
some of the
Rossi
equipment
Academy.
in there- Maybe some of the equipment in there came from where you came from, and it's a little more advanced than people here. Maybe the Sparkrites don't like you.
I mean, if
That's fair.
if they believe that I'm the stranger that's touched by the demon, and maybe the church don't like my workshop.
Actually,
Yeah.
the Church of Ecstasy believes that demons are actually a higher being than humans. The Church of Ecstasy believes that the human soul is evil because it leaves a ghost behind. So demons themselves are obviously not true evil because they have no soul. They are screwed
Yeah.
up.
Well, I
in
think
so many
Spark Right
ways.
should.
The state religion is literally like eat and have sex until you die. That's like the whole state religion, pretty much.
I don't understand
I'm
why they're
down
not
for
more
that.
popular. I think having the Spark Rights hate us is pretty good. I could go for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
the tier 4 faction, the Spark Rights. That seems fine.
All right,
All
so
right,
we
so-
steal our stuff from Spark Rights.
All right. So now we're talking about the gang.
That's right.
So is it a gang or a cohort or an expert? Is it one individual who's really good at something, or is it a group of?
I would vote for a gang because we're in the train yards. So I would
Right.
vote that we have like people who maintain our vehicles and pack our stuff. I would vote for the gang.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I would have 2 suggestions as well for the where this game comes from. The first
But
obvious
before-
one is the citizens of Night Market,
Before we get
because
there,
we're already there.
there
Go
are
on.
5 types of gangs. So let's determine what type it is, and then we can figure out where they came from.
Sure.
Okay.
There's adepts, which include scholars, tinkerers, occultists, chemists. There's rooks, which are natural colonizers, spies, socialites. There's rovers, which I think your group is aiming for, which are sailors, carriage drivers, or other traveling scavengers.
Mhm.
There's sulks, which are scouts, infiltrators, and thieves. And then there's thugs, which are killers, brawlers, and other brutes.
Yeah, it sounds like we
Okay.
want the kind of rovery type, right? Like they help us with the boat and acquiring stuff and
Right. I think the penultimate question is, are they people who synergize with exactly what we do, or are they people who do things we're not good at?
that's also fair.
Okay, so Muffin, you're a thrill seeker. You commit crime for the love of crime, right?
No, not at all.
Why do you do crime?
It's a living is the answer.
Okay, great. Why do you do crime?
Revenge!
What are you revenging for?
I am a noble and I don't have a state. I'm going to destroy everything.
So are you actually a political agitator? You want to topple the power scheme?
Well, maybe I just want to get rich, really, and be a noble again.
Okay, I mean, who doesn't want to, eat a lot?
But revenge.
Yeah,
Just went over this.
I got a sub theme in Revenge too.
Something. And the professor, your immediate goal is to put skin back on your body.
I am working on something in the lab one night.
Just smear some Vaseline on. You'll be fine in the morning.
So I'm thinking of the thing that we want to hang out with. I think was it rovers? People like who wander around a lot.
Rovers can be scavengers, or they're like sailors or carriage drivers. They'd be people who pilot things.
Right.
Right. Or the electric hobos. So, right. So those would be the kind of people we meet in the smuggling profession. There would also be, did you see the depths? Was that the one for the weirdos?
The Adepts is another gang type. They could be scholars,
Adepts.
tinkerers, occultists, so on.
Right. It could be that we hang out with them because we have an awesome lab and we're known for getting weird stuff. Our reputation already is weird, so we'd attract weirdos. And the third thing I think that would make sense would be the rich weirdos, because the rich weirdos want to hang out because we have the cool stuff.
So like the slide.
I would personally vote for adepts because I like hanging out with weirdos, but I could also go rover.
Mhm.
What about you guys?
I feel like between you and Theta, like the tinkering thing is kind of like I want you guys to have niche protection against our own gang.
Oh yeah, no, I would suggest not having the same people that I am one of being the gang. It seems like the gang needs more ability to do what the gang needs to do, or at least a muscle.
Right. I would say none of us are great smugglers yet, so having a smuggler gang would probably help us out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So are we looking at rovers then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
So
rovers.
Seems like it.
I feel like these two are like the actual.
Okay. So when
They
we
might have
agree-
been the original owners of the boat.
maybe. So
Okay.
These people, they're going to have one or two edges and equal number of flaws to kind of flesh them out. So the edges that you can give to this cohort are fearsome, they have a reputation, and they're respected. Independent, you can trust them to make good decisions when you're not watching them. Loyal, they are unlikely to be bribed or ever turn on you. Or tenacious, there's not much that's going to deter them from what they want to get done.
I do like tenacious and loyal myself.
Yeah, I vote for loyal.
So
Love,
we can
you got
pick up
opinion?
to 2 of these, right? But the more we pick, the
More flaws.
flaws they'll have as well.
What are the options for flaws?
So, principle, they have some kind of ethic or value that they won't betray. Savage, the cohort is excessively violent and cruel. Unreliable, the cohort isn't often available due to other obligations or vices. Or wild, the cohort is often drunk, debauched, and loudmouth about what they do.
Okay, I would like to pick unreliable because I want to go back to the icebreaker crew. So we've got this great boat, and it's crewed by a bunch of guys, but they're professional icebreakers. So every now and then they leave to go break ice.
Wait, what do you mean you guys have a job?
We are your job. Get back to work.
So that's why I would pick. And for every disadvantage, we get one advantage, right? They have to bounce out.
Yeah.
Right. Would you
I
wanna
like that
pick
idea
two?
because it means like sometimes we'll be doing both scores, but sometimes we won't as well.
Now,
Like,
if they're also drunken sailors who are loudmouth and debauched, then we get to pick another positive.
we don't mind people talking about our crimes, do we?
Not at all.
Well, I didn't want to.
All right.
I would like picture them as like they're always wearing like parkas, like no matter what the weather is, they have big parkas. You can't see them. They speak in an accent from a country no one else but us understands. And
To
they
be
just
fair, the
show
sun
up.
is dead, so like wearing a jumper all the time is just like appropriate.
And then every now and then they disappear to go do some religious festival, to go kill a bunch of harp seals, or to go break some ice. And we don't understand any reason why they do any of it. But when they are here, they're fiercely loyal to us. That's my vote. Be loyal
I'm
and
into
unreliable.
I'm kind of into it.
I'm down for it.
Those are
So we're going loyal, and was it tenacious? Was the other one, or did you want independent?
loyal,
No, they can't
loyal's
be.
a good thing. Unreliable is the bad
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
When they're
Right.
here, we can
Are we
depend on them
going-
to do anything. But when they're not here.
Are we going with a second flaw and edge though? Because Griff, you seemed like you like the idea of them being debauched and tenacious as well.
Yeah, if they were also wild, it would be fittingly inappropriate. But if they're loyal and
I'm
tenacious,
voting
they're
against
exactly the thing
wild.
we asked for.
you want
I'm
you want
voting
them
against that. That's me.
Okay.
you want them to be a bit more professional. Well, then they could have a principle, right? Which is like maybe they don't do violence or something.
That would be a
Um,
little fair. What do you think?
I could go with principle where they won't do wet work and we have to do it ourselves because
Yeah.
I enjoy wet work.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So we have a loyal and tenacious crew that is principled and unreliable. They're not always around, but they'll do what we ask unless it's something really terrible.
And they won't be the ones getting their hands dirty with
Yeah.
violence.
Principle,
principle.
no violence.
Yeah.
They are not going to get involved in that.
Oh, sorry. I suggested they're loyal to us because we returned some sort of personal cultural artifact to them. And they
Yeah, I like that.
I do have two suggestions for where they might be from, where I was going to say that
distractions.
earlier. My suggestions would be either the Citizens of Night Market, the place we're already at, or the Scovlin Consulate.
All right, so they're like they're also like ex-Scovlanders who you're giving work to or something.
Right, and that would just be the hook into there. It's like, yeah, I'm giving it back because I'm one of your nobles, by the way.
I think either of those could work. So either these guys are from Citizens
And
Night
that-
Market, or
That
the
also
Scotland-
explains sort of why they're loyal to you as well. It's like
Mhm.
they actually believe in your nobility. but they do have to go, do some work.
They do
every
still
now
have
and
to
then.
work.
Yeah, it's like, it's great when you get us the money because we like you, but every now and then we're just going to go break ice for the Leviathan hunters,
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna go with the Skalvan Consulate then. Everyone good with that?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I like that idea. It's got all
Alright.
these like Nordic Scots running our boat. It's great.
All right. So now we're gonna go slightly below where our cohort is, and there's contacts. This is a contact for the whole crew, someone who's maybe important or at least entrenched in the city in some area. You can see there's a handful there, and between the lot of you, you're going to have to agree on someone. So we have Evelyn, dock worker. We have Roland, who's a drug dealer. Sarah, who is an arm dealer. Nellie, who's a spirit trafficker. Decker, who's an anarchist. Or Ems, which is a tavern owner. Now, these person may flavor a lot of the first couple missions this crew goes on.
I mean, we wanted to do strange shit. Surely it's just the spirit trafficker.
Right.
Yeah, I would vote for either the spirit tracker or the dock worker could just be that we're not only do we have a base of operations in the switching yard, but we're also friends with the people who works in the switching yard who tips us off to smuggling
Well,
deals.
the
But I
docks
could
are
also see that
separate
that's
from the rail yard as well. The docks are like where the
Yeah, the docks are
big
almost on the
ships
opposite
come
end
in.
of the city.
I don't see train yard operator as an option there, so I'm assuming we could if we want.
Yeah, we could
tweak that.
finagle a bit.
Hey, if you
I
want
also
to
like
contact in there, I will do that.
okay, but I also like the idea of it might be a weirdo because we have a reputation for doing weird stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if we took the strange reputation, I feel like taking the spirit trafficker / weird occult artifact dealer that makes sense to me.
Right, because criminals would
I
come
am
to us.
down.
And say, yeah, because criminals would come to us and say, "Hey, we're looking for this weird thing," and we go, "Well, I've never heard of this weird thing. I'll go ask Niall. Hey, Niall, what's this weird thing?"
Fair.
I do hope someone has some amount of a tune.
I do.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Weird stuff. Who needs a tune?
Hey man, you can always roll a stat even if you have no dice in it.
Just throw the weird thing in the pile with the rest of them.
we also know stuff about weird stuff. We're not totally out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought a tune fit with the heritage.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, it works.
So, with
I don't know what this does, but I'm gonna try it.
with her as your contact, that's going to favor one faction is going to like you, one's going to dislike you. Given its weird stuff, the options are going to be just taking a quick look at the factions. There are the. Oh, are they not on here?
Matthew.
Yep.
According to this crew creation, we should actually have a +2. No, a -2 with the spark rights. Not just -1.
It was minus
because we don't have coin to pay them off.
Right.
So they really don't like us.
Fair.
Screw those.
But we get
guys.
+2 with the consulate, so.
No, we only get +1 because again we don't have a coin to pay them because we paid 2 coin for
Right.
the hunting
We're all
ground.
on our weird crap, which is why everyone hates us.
Yeah.
On the other hand, have you seen our crap? It's amazing.
Now, thinking about this Skalvan Consulate, you were talking about the gang. That is more government. There's Skalvlander refugees as a faction as well. Would that make more sense for you guys?
That would. Where are they on this list?
They're in
On
the
the fringe.
fringe list.
Yeah, they're. Yep, there they are. Yeah, that also makes sense. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that kind of makes more sense, doesn't it? Well,
Yeah.
no, it's kind of up to you, Griff. Like, are you still in with the people who do government for Scotland, and they've given us some legitimate workers, or are these like the refugees who you're looking after?
Let's start with the refugees I'm looking after. Let's say I'm not important enough yet. I am a noble. I'm just not one of the big ones. That's why I'm having to slum it with you guys. Everyone else got a cool deal. What did I get? A t-shirt.
Theta, that's like the small bit that you missed. Is like our boat people who run the icebreaker ship. They're Scotlanders as well, and they actually believe in Griff's nobility.
Mhm.
So that's why they're loyal to us.
Makes sense.
All right, so going back to your contact, there's going to be a couple factions who it may affect. You're going to get +1 with one of them and -1 with one of them. So the 4 I'm going to note are the Dimmer Sisters, the Forgotten Gods, the Reconciled, and just looking for where they are on this list, the Spirit Wardens. If
I
they're
feel
on
like because the Dimmer Sisters are basically spirit traffickers, right?
they are
That's sort of their
definitely
shtick.
spirit traffickers, but they have kind of a corner market on it.
Yeah, I think they're the ones that don't like us dealing with Nao, because we're like sort of maybe edging in on their kind of territory.
Yeah, well, they deal with spirits and weird arcane things and stuff no one else wants to touch.
Yeah, they feel like they're probably the people that don't like us,
Is everyone good with
or
that?
they don't like our contacts specifically.
Mhm.
All right. And then
And
we're
we
going
get
to
a plus
have,
one as well, right?
yeah, with either the Forgotten Gods, so there's a number of cults who like you, the Reconciled, or the Spirit Wardens, depending on how you've gone about this.
I do like the idea that we're just giving weird stuff over to cults. Like, we don't know what you're going to do for it, but you like to pay.
But you give us good
Hey,
coin, you bring this weird stick to you. Here you go.
Yeah, their money spends elsewhere. They would just spend it on other stupid cult crap anyway. We're doing the city a service.
Right, we're putting money from the cults back into the economy.
Everyone good with that?
Yes. And when you phrase it that way, how could I say no?
It looks at least 3 said yes, so we're going to just up that.
Sounds good.
Oh,
I don't think Theta cares where the money comes from, right?
I do not.
all right. So, to my understanding, there's only one last thing to do, and then our crew and characters are ready to go. Beside contacts, there's cargo types. These are the 4 main things that smugglers move. Which one is your crew specialized in right now? Weird and arcane, which can be spirit essence, trap ghosts, cult materials. Arms, which could be restricted military weapons, heavy ordnance, explosives. Contraband, so high tax luxuries, drugs, banned art. Or passengers, moving people and livestock in secret. Which one are you guys specialized in right now and ready to move?
It sounds like the weird stuff.
Yeah, we've sort of priced ourselves into the weird stuff. So let's do it.
I mean, that's why I'm in this.
Yeah, we got our spec. Let's do it.
I mean, you guys want to get rich. I like weird stuff, and the professor here is like, I guess, looking for something specific.
Yes.
And here we've managed to make them both work out. We can get rich off weird stuff.
So we just keep getting like the sarcophagus water, and like I just take a big bucket of it and dump it in the professor. Here, eat. Does this work?
It's 5,000-year-old gamer bathwater.
Here, you can have some with the 5,000-year-old cheese.
I don't know who this Pokimane person is, but here. Some kind of ancient goddess, probably.
I mean, that's fine. I don't actually know who Pokemon is either.
Nice.
Is this a culture I'm supposed to pay attention to?
I'm sure it won't be relevant or important. Don't you worry.
So I'm just transferring all our stuff to the faction sheet so I don't lose it.
Yeah, and now I'm taking a look at an old token. I'm just like, do I want to use this one? He's kind of wearing armor in this. I could go get like one with a suit.
All right, so we've made all of our characters. Do you guys want to supply your own tokens, or do you want to pick from this here?
Oh. That's so cool. I sort of
Ooh. Hey, that's
a
actually convenient.
photo
I don't
to
have
my
to go
character.
looking for stuff now.
I can also convert pictures as long as you have the rights to them into a token without a problem.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? The rights.
Yeah, well, we have these. These are available to us.
Yeah, why don't I just pick off this list then? And then I can use my photo as more like a reference.
This guy is pretty cool. I'll take him.
This guy here.
Yeah.
Can't
All
see
right.
him now because you've drawn all over him. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to still remember who everyone's character is.
What's your character name?
Edwin Rockwell as Bishop.
Excellent.
I just
Is
put
that
my
like the same name you used in Scum and Villainy?
Is it? Yo,
It's
yeah,
really
it's
close.
the same. It's the same normal person name.
It's very close.
I've just dropped mine into Discord.
Excellent.
And Rafferty, of course, is showing off and making one on the fly. Already looking good. Not even done.
I just merged myself with Marilyn Manson. This is my picture and Marilyn Manson merged together. Which I thought it looked incredibly like Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps for some reason.
I was going to say either Aaron Hansen or just like an average Floridian, really.
I've been drinking the water.
You're just going to bring your pet alligator to work. It's okay.
That's why I said I used I made the picture first, and I was like, came up with the backstory of most of my body is burned. And it's like, well, Elvira looks pale alabaster complexion when she's wearing the makeup, and her real life story is that she's a burn victim survivor. So it makes sense. I got the face still. Rest of the body is horrible.
Sure.
Not the way I mean to say that, by the way. I don't mean to disenfranchise burn victims as like horrible people. I didn't mean that way. I just meant the character.
But don't you see, the outside now reflects your inner impurities as a terrible human being.
Well, I'll fix that.
I've circled one of the ones in the token library, which I
those are
believe the art is based on John Harper, who wrote Blades in the Dark.
Fair. So I've already put it as your token.
Nice.
So we got Edward Rockefeller and Alston Dunn.
Alston Haig.
I do appreciate the one next to the one that you picked is literally the token for Leech, too.
Yeah.
I also like the one next to that, the larger image, is the Leech if he was cosplaying as the Punisher. Couldn't remember his name.
Nice.
All right, so we have our characters and our crew. Do people want to get started today? Like, I know we have till 6, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we got time. We got
I
most
wouldn't
things
mind
set
a
up.
short break before we get right into it. But I wouldn't. Are we going to do like character introductions? Because I still don't know who the other characters in the crew are right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we can do that.
Let's do our 4 characters. Let's have you introduce yourselves.
How about we do the character intro, and then we do that break that you want to do after we're done the intro?
Yeah, that sounds
All right. Who's going to go first?
How about
you
yourself?
are. You volunteered.
Okay, well, I sure did volunteer, didn't I? All right, I am Edward Rockwell II, a noble of fallen Scotland. I am not sure what else I need to go over here necessarily. I gotta think of words now. What's the order of operation? Oh yes. I am going to go ahead and be the spider. I have chosen to have good foresight. I will be able to help you out without any stress to myself because I've planned this all out ahead of time. You see, I'm a great thinker, and that's why you guys rely on me. Never mind, I maybe don't pick up as many books as I should, but you'll listen to me. I also have a couple of refugees here with me. I've definitely shown my nobility to them, and they're willing to fall in line under my lead. And of course, noblesse oblige. They're part of our gang, and I will see them have some of the profit as well. What are we carrying around anyway? One of you guys knows.
Don't look at me, Matt.
Theta, who are you? And what did you bring in here? What is this madness?
I am Furio, Wadante. I am a Tycheros. I'm a former professor from the Tycherosi Academy, which, as far as anybody knows, is no longer there. Last I saw it, it was a fireball, as I saw it from the shores of my former home. I am here to purvey the weird, as well as, well, I'm not going to tell you people what I'm up to. I am a artificer. I have the gift of creation on my side, as was my people's well-to-do nature. And I have with me in my workshop that you have so generously provided me, thank you, sir, a work-in-progress hull.
Wonderful. So Muffin,
Am I
what do you
still on
have?
the call?
You are in the call again.
have-
We just don't have video.
Yeah, your camera's gone.
Yeah, something happened to Discord.
Yeah, we saw you blip for a second.
Yeah, I don't know, but at least I'm still on the call, so I can at least tell you about my character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead. Go next. What
Okay,
madness do you
well,
bring in?
yes, I am playing Pariso, a mysterious malefactor from places unknown, although my accent betrays me as someone who of upper crust learning. I know no master, and serve only the capricious whims of my own fancy, as I am bored of this world, and only that the most obscure, strange, and dare I say forbidden curiosities hold any interest for me whatsoever.
You mean opium?
No, drugs. How pedestrian. How carnal.
Oh, so some of that ghost nonsense then. Well, as long as it makes money.
Did you want to introduce what playbook you're playing?
Let's see. Yes, I am a lurker. I lurk. Who's that lurking over there? It's me. Yes, I specialize in move fast and break things.
All right, that
Right.
just leaves us with Alliston.
Yeah, name's Alston. You can call me Grit. Grew up here in the city of Duskval. Was a abandoned orphan. Worked the factories with everybody else in Coleridge, but had a little sideline dealing in some smuggled contraband. Eventually worked my way up in another gang, but maybe don't have the best friends there anymore, and I'm a bit on the outs. So I know everybody in this city, but like I'm not sure they like me that much.
Sounds good. And did you want to tell the audience your playbook?
Oh yeah, I'm the cutter. Good at smashing things and faces particularly.
All right. And
Wonderful. We need a strong man.
The crew is the Teeth. You're a group of smugglers who specialize in the strange, arcane, and weird. You guys have established your lair as a hovel near the rail yard. And we're going to get on these adventures soon. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break-ish. That sounds
Okay.
about right.
Sounds good.
And then
That's
we'll meet
good.
back here.
Brilliant.